The moon enters Scorpio today, and with it, a wave of deep, undeniable transformation. This is not just another lunar phase, it's a call to awaken something within you. Scorpio, the sign of rebirth and revelation, doesn't ask for subtlety. It demands that you face the truth buried beneath the surface. The energy is intense. You might notice it already. A strange pull, a sense that something unseen is working its way into your consciousness. It's not your imagination. This lunar shift is stirring emotions, unlocking hidden desires, and revealing secrets that have long been kept in the shadows. But here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about emotions or intuition. The Scorpio moon holds the power to change the course of your life, if you're willing to listen. What you do today, how you respond to these energies, will determine the path ahead. And time is running out. Are you truly ready for what's coming? The Scorpio moon is not just another phase, it is a portal, a gateway between the seen and unseen, where veils thin and what was once hidden comes to light. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, carries an energy unlike any other. This is not gentle or fleeting. It is deep, unrelenting, and meant to strip away illusions. Scorpio governs the realm of transformation, of endings that make way for new beginnings. When the moon aligns with this sign, it doesn't just illuminate the sky, it illuminates you. It forces you to see what you've ignored, what you've buried, and what you've been too afraid to confront. This is the moment of reckoning. You might feel waves of intense emotion, unexplained nostalgia, sudden insights, or an urge to withdraw and reflect. This is because the Scorpio moon activates the subconscious. It doesn't deal with surface-level desires. It reaches into the depths, unearthing truths that demand acknowledgement. This is not a time to resist. The energies present today will shape the choices you make moving forward. Ignore them, and you may feel stuck. Embrace them, and you step into a new version of yourself, stronger, wiser, and more in tune with the unseen forces guiding your path. The choices you've made, the paths you've walked, they all carry echoes of your past. Some memories feel warm, familiar, like an old song that still hums in the background of your mind. Others linger, like shadows, moments you try to forget, but never truly escape. And then there are the questions, the ones you push aside when life gets busy, the ones that whisper late at night, demanding answers. Where are you headed? And more importantly, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? The Scorpio moon brings clarity, but it does not do so gently. It asks you to be honest, brutally so. Think about the patterns you keep repeating, the emotions that resurface again and again. Why do certain wounds never fully heal? Why do you find yourself drawn to the same situations, the same people, the same lessons disguised in different forms? Maybe it's a relationship that drains more than it gives, but you convince yourself to stay. Maybe it's a version of yourself you no longer recognize, but you keep playing the role because it's easier than change. Maybe it's a dream you abandoned long ago, but a part of you still aches for it. Scorpio does not tolerate illusions. It strips away the layers of excuses, forcing you to see things as they are. This can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is also necessary, because without this reckoning, without this moment of raw honesty, how can you ever step into the life you truly desire? Picture a river, strong and steady, carving its way through stone. It does not fight the current. It does not resist the journey. It surrenders, allowing the natural flow of energy to shape its path. But imagine if that river were blocked, held back by debris, unable to move forward. The water would stagnate, the flow would cease. The same happens within you when you cling to what should have been released long ago. What parts of your life feel stagnant? What emotions have you bottled up, convincing yourself they don't matter? Pay attention, because under this moon, what is hidden will rise. And the longer you resist, the stronger the force becomes. This is not punishment. This is transformation. You are being given a chance to heal, to evolve, to finally free yourself from the weight you no longer need to carry. But the question remains, will you answer the call? There comes a point when the weight of the past becomes too heavy to carry, not because you aren't strong enough, but because you were never meant to hold it forever. Pain, regret, unanswered questions, they shape you, but they should not define you. And yet so many people cling to what hurts them, believing that if they hold on long enough, they'll find meaning in the suffering. But the Scorpio Moon does not honor suffering for the sake of suffering. It asks for something greater. It asks for transformation. Think of a snake shedding its skin. It doesn't fight the process. It doesn't mourn the layers it leaves behind. It simply lets go, knowing that clinging to what is old would only suffocate what is meant to emerge. You are no different. Growth requires release. But before you can step into something new, you must be willing to face what you've outgrown. Start by looking inward, not at the version of yourself you present to the world, but at the one that exists in the quiet moments when no one is watching. What fears have kept you rooted in the same place? What emotions have you buried so deep that you've convinced yourself they no longer exist? Denial is comforting. It allows you to pretend that everything is fine, that the cracks in the foundation aren't really there. But under this moon, denial becomes impossible. The truth demands to be seen. And if you don't willingly acknowledge it, it will find a way to surface on its own. Pay attention to what stirs within you today. The memories that resurface, the emotions that feel sharper than usual, the conversations that force you to confront uncomfortable truths. Nothing is happening by accident. This is the universe's way of showing you what still needs healing. It's easy to dismiss these moments as coincidences, to brush them aside and promise yourself you'll deal with them later. But how many times have you said that? How many times have you pushed aside your own needs, hoping that time alone would fix what feels broken? Time does not heal what you refuse to face. So, what now? What do you do with all of this? The emotions, the realizations, the sudden awareness of what must change. Do you push it down, as you always have, or do you finally listen? Because here's the truth. This energy is not here to break you. It is here to set you free. The only question is whether you're ready to let go of everything that's been holding you back. Freedom is a choice, but it is not always an easy one. Letting go of what is familiar, even if it no longer serves you, can feel like stepping into the unknown with no guarantee of what comes next. That is where most people hesitate. They cling to old patterns, old relationships, old versions of themselves, not because they truly want to, but because they fear what will happen if they release them. But the truth is, what you hold on to also holds on to you. Every attachment, every unresolved emotion, every story you keep telling yourself about who you are and what you deserve, it all shapes your reality. And if you are not careful, it becomes your cage. Under the Scorpio moon, this becomes undeniable. It is as if a mirror has been placed in front of you, forcing you to see the raw, unfiltered truth of your own life. You cannot look away. You cannot pretend that the things weighing on your heart don't exist. So now, you must decide. Will you continue to carry them, or will you finally set them down? It starts with acceptance. Accept that you cannot change the past. Accept that some things ended for a reason. Accept that healing is not about forgetting, but about freeing yourself from the grip of what once was. And then, take action. If there are words left unsaid, say them, even if only to yourself. If there is forgiveness to be given, offer it, not because they deserve it, but because you do. If you feel called to walk away from something that drains your spirit, trust that instinct. The universe is not asking you to abandon what matters, but to release what no longer aligns with who you are becoming. This is your chance to redefine yourself, to step out of old cycles and into something new. But transformation requires courage. The courage to sit with discomfort, the courage to choose yourself, the courage to believe that you are worthy of more than just surviving. You are meant to thrive. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean, the waves stretching endlessly before you. You could stay where you are, on the shore, safe but unfulfilled. Or you could take a step forward, let the water rise around you, and allow yourself to be carried somewhere unknown. It is terrifying, yes, but it is also where true freedom begins. And so, ask yourself now, what have you been afraid to release? What story have you been telling yourself that no longer feels true? What would happen if, just for a moment, you trusted the unknown more than you feared it? Because the moment you decide to surrender to this transformation, everything changes. The weight lifts, the energy shifts, and you step into a version of yourself that has been waiting for you all along. Change is rarely comfortable. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment, nor does it ask if you're ready. It arrives like a storm, unsettling everything in its path. And yet, within that chaos, there is clarity. Within that discomfort, there is an invitation to shed the layers that no longer belong to you and step into something greater. But here's the paradox of transformation. It requires both surrender and strength. Surrender to what is beyond your control and strength to take ownership of what is within your power. So, where do you begin? Start by listening, not just to the world around you, but to yourself. The Scorpio Moon heightens your intuition, amplifies the whispers of your subconscious, and brings to the surface what has long been buried. Do not ignore these signs. If something keeps tugging at your mind, a memory, a longing, a sudden realization, there is a reason. The universe does not speak in empty echoes. It speaks in patterns, in synchronicities, in the quiet knowing that lingers in your chest before you fall asleep at night. What has been calling to you? What truth have you been avoiding? Sit with these questions, but do not let them paralyze you. Reflection is only the first step. The real work begins when you take action. If there is a relationship in your life that drains more than it nourishes, acknowledge it. If there is a habit that keeps you stuck in cycles of self-sabotage, confront it. If there is a dream you buried out of fear, unearth it. The Scorpio Moon does not demand that you change everything overnight, but it does demand honesty. Think of a phoenix, the mythical creature that rises from its own ashes. The fire that consumes it is not destruction, it is renewal. But the phoenix does not hesitate. It does not resist the flames. It understands that in order to be reborn, it must first let itself burn. This is where many people turn away. They crave transformation but fear the process. They want the freedom but refuse to release the chains. They ask for a new path but cling to the old one, convinced they can carry both. You cannot. To step into your power, you must first make space for it. This means releasing the grudges you've held onto, not because they weren't justified, but because they have weighed you down long enough. It means letting go of past versions of yourself, not because they were failures, but because they were stepping stones to something greater. It means accepting that not everything lost was meant to be kept. There is power in surrender. There is strength in release. And there is freedom in trusting that what is meant for you will not require you to shrink, to suffer, or to beg to be seen. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of everything you've been holding on to. And now, ask yourself, what would happen if you simply let it go? The Scorpio Moon doesn't just offer transformation, it insists upon it. It is an invitation, a challenge, a mirror reflecting back to you everything you are capable of becoming. But only you can decide if you will accept it. So will you. Because the time is now. The energy is here. And whether you resist it or embrace it, the shift is already happening. The only question left is this: will you step forward into the unknown, trusting that something greater awaits? Or will you stay where you are, weighed down by what no longer belongs to you? The choice is yours. It always has been. There comes a moment in every transformation where the choice becomes undeniable, a moment where you realize you cannot turn back, where the weight of the past no longer fits the shape of who you are becoming. This is that moment. The Scorpio Moon has stripped away the illusions. It has laid bare the truth you've been avoiding, the emotions you've been suppressing, the changes you've been resisting. But now, there is no more running, no more waiting for the perfect time, no more hoping that life will shift on its own. The shift is already here. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle yet undeniable pull. The voice inside you whispering that you are meant for more, that something within you is awakening, demanding to be seen, to be honored, to be set free. For too long, you have dimmed your own light to make others comfortable. For too long, you have told yourself that someday you will take the leap. Someday you will break the cycle. Someday you will step fully into your power. But someday is an illusion. There is only now. And right now, the universe is asking, are you ready? Because this energy, this moment, is not random. It has arrived with purpose, aligning you with the path you were always meant to walk. The path of courage, the path of self-discovery, the path of transformation. The past does not define you. Your mistakes do not define you. Your fears, your doubts, your struggles, they are not who you are. They are only the chapters that brought you here. And now you stand on the precipice of something greater. But you must choose it. No one can make this decision for you. No one can force you to rise, to heal, to embrace the power that has always existed within you. That choice belongs to you and you alone. So ask yourself, are you willing to step forward, to claim your transformation, to surrender the pain, the guilt, the hesitation, and instead embrace the version of yourself that has been waiting on the other side of fear? Because once you decide, once you truly commit to your own growth, everything changes. The universe responds to boldness. It moves in alignment with those who refuse to shrink in the face of uncertainty. It clears the path for those who dare to step into the unknown, trusting that something greater is waiting. This is your turning point. This is your moment. And if you feel that fire inside you, that undeniable knowing that you were meant for something more, then take this as your sign. The universe has spoken. The time is now. Step forward. Let go. Transformation. The energy of the Scorpio Moon is a powerful catalyst for transformation. And right now, The universe is offering you a choice, a profound, life-changing choice. You've been given the gift of awareness, a rare moment when the truth is undeniable, when the veils of illusion are lifted, and the path to your next level of growth is wide open before you. But it's up to you to take that first step. This cosmic event has illuminated everything you need to see. It has forced you to confront the shadows, those lingering emotions, unresolved issues, and unspoken truths. And it has shown you the potential for something far greater than you've allowed yourself to believe. The Scorpio Moon is not just about uncovering what is hidden. It's about empowering you to reclaim your power, to break free from the chains of the past, and to step boldly into the next chapter of your life. You now know that healing requires action. Transformation cannot happen without surrender, without the courage to let go of what no longer serves you. You've been given the gift of clarity. So what will you do with it? You've heard the call. The universe is speaking to you, urging you to trust your instincts, to trust yourself. It's asking you to step into the unknown with faith, knowing that as you release the old, something infinitely better awaits you. But the key is to act now. Procrastination is your enemy. The longer you wait to take the necessary steps, the harder it becomes to break free. This energy won't last forever, and once it shifts, you might find yourself back in the same old patterns, caught in the same struggles. The time is now. The universe is aligning with you, guiding you toward your highest potential, but you must meet it with boldness, with courage, and with trust in the process. Reflect on the emotional journey you've experienced during this Scorpio moon. What has come to the surface for you? What truths have been revealed, no matter how uncomfortable? What are you willing to release in order to create space for something new and better? You are at a crossroads, and the choices you make today will shape the future you experience. There is no more waiting, no more wondering, what if? The Scorpio moon demands that you face the reality of your life, your choices, and your potential. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You've already begun to evolve, to shift, to grow. The question now is, will you continue the journey, or will you allow fear, doubt, and hesitation to hold you back? Your transformation begins with your commitment to it. This is the moment when you stop making excuses, when you stop waiting for the right time, and when you finally step forward with the full force of your intention and belief. Take a deep breath, let go of the doubts, and trust in the power of this cosmic event. The Scorpio moon is a blessing in disguise. It has cracked open your heart and your soul, allowing the light of change to flood in. But you must walk through the door. You must take that first step into the unknown. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and join our community of like-minded souls seeking transformation, empowerment, and spiritual growth. There is so much more to come, and I can't wait to share more insights with you in the future. In the coming weeks, we'll dive deeper into the power of the full moon in Virgo, unlocking the potential for practical magic in our lives. We'll explore how to manifest your dreams and goals with precision, and how to align your intentions with the cosmic flow. But for now, take action. Release what no longer serves you. Step forward with courage. The universe is waiting, and your transformation is already in motion. Don't let this moment pass you by. Remember, this is your time. The Scorpio moon has come to catalyze change in your life. Don't hesitate. Take the leap, trust the process, and let yourself rise to new heights. The universe has a plan for you, and it's bigger than you could ever imagine.